I love sliders. Honestly, way more than a gimbal, and of course more than just a tripod, unless that really is all that the shot calls for. They're nearly perfectly smooth, they're accurate, they're less prone to human error, especially with the motorized versions, and most importantly, you get predictable and repeatable motion. Today, I just want to quickly introduce one way to take advantage of sliders that can really be expanded to an insanely fun level with people more creative than myself. And together with Zeapon, we're going to pick one of you to win a brand new motorized Zeapon slider. So stick around and see how to enter. Let's get into it. So this technique is very new to me as well, but I saw it on, I believe, Zeapon's own Facebook page, and I thought it looked fun, so I gave it a quick try for just a couple of shots, and I wanted to show you the idea of it today, and hopefully you can use that as a basis to add your own flair and to get some really cool and fun shots with it. Like I said, sliders are predictable, repeatable, and relatively perfect, so you can loop the same motion over and over again to composite shots that might otherwise take tons of effort, tons of gear, or tons of people. Now, let me show you one of my first attempts at this. Pretty lame, I know, but this was just my first attempt to kind of just confirm the idea in theory, and so I thought I'd be real with you here. And here are the points that I learned from my little experiment, which helped to make my second attempt, I think, at least a little bit more successful. Focal length and slider direction can really affect how cool this is. Wide angles or shots with more foreground and background might sell this a little bit better, and maybe even some side-to-side motion instead of just a push in and push out, which I didn't really change between my two shots, and I really should have. But anyway, you'll get the idea. Experiment a bit to see what works best for your particular shot. Plan, 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 plan. Really, planning what you want your final results to be will do wonders for how you go about getting the actual shot. Having some image in mind with some progression of movement or lighting, and probably most importantly, the timing of your final clip. That way you can be sure that everything will cut together nicely in post. Maybe even mark with tape on your slider where you physically want the camera to be during certain actions, so that way you're sure you don't accidentally overlap things or have a gap without any action where you didn't want it to be. And take your time. If you rush and bump the tripod, you walk heavily and shake it, or anything else like that, it can actually make cutting these clips together even more difficult or less believable, as it has that jarring motion from one frame to the next. So while still far from perfect, in my second attempt, I tried to mess with some different lighting and mix those all together in post, both still and moving lights and even some special effects. At one point I had to mask out my arm in the corner for one of the shots, but keep in mind if you pre-plan your final shot and things like that won't be a problem because you'll know what you can and can't do. You have it all planned out ahead of time. The original example I saw on Facebook was way better than this, but the great part is that, again, with just a little bit of practice and some creativity, you can get really unique shots, and you could even transfer this technique to something on a larger scale. So, what you're all waiting for. If you didn't know, Zeapon's slider was actually spotted in the behind-the-scenes video for Apple's iPhone 12 commercial. They were psyched about that, and they wanted to pay it back to all of you for helping to spread their sliders around the world. So I'm going to choose one of you, and they'll send you a brand new E600, which is the electronic slider that I use most often and the one that I used right here in this particular video as well. To enter, I want to hear your creative ideas, tricks, and tips down in the comments. They don't have to be involving a slider, of course, but ideally they should be something that you've actually done, not just an idea. So comment down below with something that you've done creatively to get the shot, and I will choose, together with a handful of people that I work with, what we think is the coolest idea. Something inspiring, something that we read and think, ah, cool, I need to try that too. I'll give you a week from the posting of this video, and then I will announce the winner on my Facebook page. So if you want to see the winner, make sure that you're following me over there as well, so we can get in touch with you and get that slider to you. And while you're at it, you should probably check out Zeapon's page as well, because there will be more coming out soon that will make this slider even better than it already is. I'll have links for all of that, of course, down in the video description. So good luck.